Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So, amazing I made my entrance as the music does in fact stop. That's awesome. Love it. Love it. Okay, there we are. Pretend I came in at this point now. And so indeed, yes, today we will be playing more War and Peace 2, in fact. Mostly because I wanted to. I had that itch, I was thinking actually, it was a lot of fun when we had the War and Peace 2 campaign. All those months ago. Whenever that was, I should forget when it ended now. I'm gonna go ahead and share screen here in just a moment. The delay was due to me making a coffee. But I'm also recording this so I can break it up if necessary. Okay. Do we have anybody in chat? Yeah, we've got a whole 2. Wow, I am popular. This is what it means to be popular. But that's fine then. At least I know it's working. So we are going to be continuing off then from where I left off on the Slytherin stream here. So we're just in Axis turn 2 in the ground movement essentially. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, I was just wondering why it was loading a little bit slow. But see, the laptop that I use has like 2 power outlets, or power supplies, whatever you want to call it. And I forgot the other one wasn't plugged in, so that's probably why. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the state of play here at the moment. We had made moves over here in the north, which was quite good. So I managed to actually settle things over here then. We had to place a large amount of men under the command of Army Group North, but that's okay. We do have army, well, we do have the 18th Army over here. We were then in the process of actually taking a look at the 16th Army. This one's a little bit harder to manage, but it should be doable. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take a look at the actual situation over here for 16th Army. And then, my good friends, we'll make this work. The 16th Army itself, then, is obviously overburdened. But not that horrendously, but I can't make it work. The 18th Motorized Division I'm going to have moved down to the south there, really. We'll get things worked out, really. We'll manage it, It's just going to take some finesse, really. But you can see here we have our defensive values. And they're okay. Something that I'm considering doing is maybe having fortified zones used to actually buy us a little bit more in terms of men and material on this line. Or even potentially fallback positions. They would be quite good as well. But I'm not going to do that yet. That would be a luxury. I do have 61 administration points here at the moment. I'm going to try and use those for superior leaders, and maybe the assault HQs will take a look at that. I shall try and use them when I can, really. Okay. So I do have the 218th over here. Now, it's an interest when it comes to this position here, because I do have the heavy woods here. We have heavy woods on this side of the river, and I have swamp on this side of the river. The issue is we're on the wrong side of the river here, aren't we, really? I don't particularly want to be on that side. So what I'm considering potentially doing, though, is we do have the 93rd Division over here. Is I could go about this a number of ways. I could have, and I need to have some space to actually dig this. And actually prepare this as a fortified position. But I'd also like to move away from having regiments to the front line. Though, thankfully, there's not too much over here, so I could probably get away with it. What I'm considering doing then, really, is I do have the security division over here. I will be able to get a division down this way. The security division, I'd like to more than likely it wants to go back to the reserve and then to a garrison, really. I think that's what we'll go ahead and do with it. I could have that sent. Well, the German forces can be sent essentially everywhere, which is really quite nice. I'm quite happy about that. It does mean we can do quite a lot with them. We do have a lot of freedom, and they do have value. The security divisions, though, ironically, are superior to the Luftwaffe field divisions, though. So they do have their uses, really. But I think what I'm going to go ahead and do then is we'll draw back this division over here. I do have a regiment that can be sent south down here. And I can occupy the positions of the security division. So there, and As much as it pains me, I don't know if I want to maintain that position, but then again, I'm giving up level 3 fortifications. True, I move across the river into heavy woods, so I still have a good position here, but I need that to be dug first. So I think that'd be like one of the positions I'd use maybe a fortified region for. But even then, take a look at things. If I press 8 here, I'm sorry, that's F8. Yeah, so we're drawing freight from over here, drawing from that depot. I could do a depot over this way, really. Just try and reduce the distance if I can at all. But I think that's essentially what we're going to go for there. And at least with that, should work out. Let's make sure yeah, that's going fine. That's good. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do then. So it means that we stick with the regiment for now, but it's not going to be a permanent situation, really. I could shuffle them down as well, perhaps. It does very much depend. This rail line is currently not active right now. It is actually repaired, so if I can actually force this division back or hold this rail line, at a later date it would come online. So it would allow me to bring in 12,000 units of freight down this rail line. And yeah, we've got 12 there, we've got the 30 there. Having another rail line there certainly does help, so I'm going to try to maintain that. Now, if I take a look there, we do have heavy woods. We have light woods over here, so it's a bit of an opposite issue where I'd prefer really to be on this side of the river for the heavy woods there. But we'll make use of it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then is I'm going to bring down the 218th regiment down here. Like so. The 218th second can move there. And the first 218th can move there. The division here. Just going to have it move there for a second. Now if I reform that, we do have 7,516 men. Which doesn't sound like a huge amount, but it's not too bad really. We can actually make something of that. Something I could maybe do is maybe we have it broken up to help cement this position. What I could do is maybe I might even just leave them in position there really. I think I will leave them in position there. At least they maintained the fortification there. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do then is I could... So we've got 2482 then, that's 2596. Okay. I could bolster this strength over here, that brings us up to 15. Which isn't a huge amount of strength. What do we have here in terms of construction value? 6, 6 and 6. Okay. The regiment has only a construction value of 7 there. But what I can go ahead and do then, we do have the 10th Corps over here, is I can go ahead and assign to the 10th Corps additional construction units, and that will help to dig them in there. Yeah, like these pioneers, but these construction units over here. But frankly, the RAD I should have moved out. Currently attached to OKH, I'm going to have to take a look at that. These actually are rail construction units as well, but in fairness, in this situation, there's not that many rails really to convert, so I can probably go ahead and have it more or so concentrated than I would normally. So that's quite nice. Quite happy about that. But yeah, I'm going to have to try and dredge up some construction battalions. I'm used to having quite a lot on OKH, but obviously we are in a different scenario here, so I know those units are already assigned out to various units, but we can wrangle them up and make them work. We actually do have a Panzer regiment there, but it's only 37% strength. Okay. I'm hoping I can maybe wrangle up another Corps headquarters, but I think these are all busy over this way. I'm sure I will have a Corps headquarters somewhere that we can actually make use of them. Yeah, 16th Army here then. So one of these units are already assigned down to a city here. Cotley. I don't know what Cotley is, but it's at Cotley. I actually do not know where that is. Right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then, so we've got 22 there, we've got 15 there, we've got 21 there. What I will do then... I mean, that is a weak point there, in the light woods. That position is heavy woods, that's heavy woods there too. They're heavy woods, and they're also divisions. I mean, they're only 7,500 men, but still more men. Here we have, it's better than most places, in fact. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do then, we've got 11 guns there. I will have it moved in there. That brings us up to the same position as the others there. I'm going to have this force over here, then the 281st second. They can start to dig in there, then. I can have a place on reserve if necessary. Currently that command's overloaded. I do have a core command in here, thankfully, so I can make use of that. Right, so I've got a Jaeger here. I've got the 8th Jaeger. So the Jaeger divisions can actually move over here then to secure that position. I need to have something there, so I think I probably may maintain... well, we can manage that anyway. I'm only shifting a division up there. Yeah, that should be okay. I'll probably place the motorized division here then, just to make sure this doesn't collapse on us. I don't think it will, but just in case. Though I'll see. I mean, no, to be honest, I probably want to have it move down south ASAP, really. We've got strength over here to make this work, so... just need to trust in the system there, really. So the 5th Jaeger can move over there. Ah, that's clear terrain, okay. Okay. Move them over there to swamp. They can't move any further right now. Nor can they. I will move that division there. I do have a regiment there. That's the one that belongs to the ones around Onianbalm. Hey, did that, Arthur? Good to have you. Yeah, it has been a while, hasn't it? I've been a wee bit busy. The War on the Pacific Streams will be returning as well shortly enough. I had a busy period, and Gary had a busy period as well. He'd been seeing family and doing a lot of driving. So yeah, we put it on temporary hold for that time, but it'll be returning very soon. Don't you worry about that. Okay. That was good to see you then, Arthur. How are you doing, my friend? So they can move forward if they wanted to. They can't move forward right now. That regiment could move forward. I don't think I have a division that can move that far anymore. So I will take that regiment. They can move there then. It helps to reinforce our position. That's at 100 strength there. That's at 56. It is a level 4 fortification. I mean, these fortifications are pretty phenomenal. I would really like to keep our fortification there. I think that one we can afford to keep. Possibly. I'd really like to kick them out of that position there in the heavy woods. If I could take these 2 hexes over here, this position would be a hell of a lot stronger, really. But we'll have to work with what we've got there. At least with the clear terrain, there's only 2 hexes I can possibly attack it from, so at least we know to stack that. So, yeah, it's one of those. Stalingrad is as it is at the start of the turn there. I've not taken a look at this really as of yet, but we'll try to break out of there. I think I will abandon Stalingrad because I just think, as much as I'd love to stay there, Stalingrad, I just don't think it's really viable in this situation. There's force enough in here to maybe hold a perimeter, but barely. It's the issue that there's really nothing behind here. It is stretched. There's only 12,000 tons of freight moving along that line and that line there. There's not a major rail, so things aren't exactly great. Had we had a major rail in there, it'd be a different story, but yeah, there's not really a major rail there. It's a similar situation for the Soviets as well, but at least they do have more rails and they're obviously working from interior lines, so it is a bit easier for them. They also do have far more troops in this area to actually help back that up. But in general, we'll be falling back in this area. I'll have to figure out the line. I'm going to be looking towards using the natural terrain over here, but I do want to maintain my cop. I want to maintain these victory points over here. But essentially try and fall back, have the 6th Army try and break through here, which is going to be easier said than done. Have the 6th Army break through here and then form a perimeter out this way. At least then I can actually try to maintain the oil from my cop and the victory points over here, which helps to keep us in the game longer. Though saying that, I'd love to pull out from this area entirely, but it doesn't take a huge commitment due to the actual nature of the terrain here. I mean, the mountains down here make it quite nice. It's a difficult one, really. I suppose what we'll do then is we'll pull back and then make decisions. I'd like to maintain Rostov, but this is it really. I could make a defensive line along this river here, perhaps. But there's a certain point to which, well, the geography isn't going to narrow that much. I just need to make a choice about that. Yeah, it's impossible to hold around major supply source. I can agree to that. There's plenty of freight in there, but it's just obviously you're not going to get the replacements there. You just don't really have the fresh men to maintain that. But as sad as that is, we'll just have to accept that. Okay. Yeah, they can't move any further forward then. I will go ahead. Oh, so they could move up to that point there. Okay. I will move them to the edge of the pocket there. Well, it's not a pocket, but you know what I mean. The reason being, they should be able to then access the freight over here a little bit easier and then help to push that through there. Okay. I wish I could move another one on there, but I can't. We'll take the one first of Waven. I can really, yeah, dig it. Well, I have a lot of strength there. I don't want to be in the clear terrain though. Very clear terrain there. I'm going to move them into the heavy woods. Then in rough terrain, but that's clear terrain as well there. So I'm going to have them move into the actual heavy woods there. So that position there is the weak point there. Not a grand amount I can do about that. But they should be able to hold. They've got 99 combat prep. I mean, granted they've got some fatigue there. But they still have 56. It'd be tempting to maybe launch like a counterattack in this area, but it just really wouldn't do me all that much. What I'm going to try and do is just maintain them as best I can. There's a supply can be a little bit tenuous, really. So I've got to respect that. Headquarters is overloaded to a degree. I'd like to get more core headquarters out here and try and divvy things up as best we can. Now the question is going to come down to, do I take a small risk? I mean, it would be a risk. I don't know if it could be characterized as a small risk. I could leave the 5th Jaeger division there. 5th Jaeger, I mean, all the infantry have been set down to max TOE of about 70% there. So we'll have a reduction in strength, but I don't think it'll be that bad. I feel like I would prefer to get the motorized down to the south, actually. On the current sector you're in, maybe you could bail the Russians. Sorry, I'll bait the Russians. Let me move this screen a little bit closer so I can see here. That might be a good idea. Wow, that's a lot better. On the current sector you're in, maybe you can bait the Russians by trying to evacuate the pocket, first concentrate on them and encircle them. Potentially so. Potentially so. And it'd be great to do that. Excuse me. Issue is the train's not good. And light woods is not bad. I could maybe make something there. I think we don't have... There's a river there, but I don't... maybe there's a river on both sides. So there's a river on both sides here. Okay. But yeah, the train's not too bad on that front. It's just... It doesn't really play well for us here. I mean, granted, it's not the first winter, but it's still winter time. And, well... We don't get all that much by playing in the snow there. But I know what you mean. It is something to take into consideration. I'll see what we can do about that. Right, okay. So we need to try and stabilize over here. That one's going to be a little bit harder said than done. But we got only a regiment. Okay. I can get them in there. I can't get the others in there, which is a bit of a problem. I would have preferred to have had a full division in there just to make sure we have it concentrated. And therefore really ramp up its effectiveness. Yeah. So we're dealing with a mechanized corps here. We have the 21st Guards Rifle Division. We also have a 5th Guards Rifle Corps. There is a river over here, so at least we have something. But we have light woods and we have clear terrain there. Here's clear terrain. What I want to try and do then is just essentially like a snake and ladder in, essentially, like have like a ladder in here into the fortifications. It's still clear terrain, but at least we've got level 3 fortifications. I really would like to hold on to level 5 forts. They are rare. We actually can't construct them. So yes, I'd like to hold on to them. So we do have elements of depleted Luftwaffe Flieger? No. Luftwaffe field divisions. Okay. And we have a division over there, but that is quite weak. Though saying that, it's about where it should be anyway. And it shows you the strength of these divisions to be quite light, really. I could maybe use it to shore up a position, but it's not going to do me a whole lot of good. I think over here we will be going with, I believe what was told to be Operation Buffalo and pulling out. I think that's what we'll have to do there. And do you have Mountaineers, regiments, divisions to reinforce the Caucasus sector? Well, we're going to be compacting this. We do have Romanian Mountaineers. I will be drawing more of those. I have 2 Romanian Mountaineer divisions here in the Crimea. I'd like to have them drawn out this way. The Mountaineer forces I will try to have funneled down this way. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I need to take a look at really the considerations. I mean, to be fair, I could pull out of the Caucasus completely and then go back there in 1943. It wouldn't really hurt, I suppose. It's one of those where it allows the Soviets to concentrate their forces, but it allows us to concentrate our forces as well. And we don't need to have as many forces to actually hold a front line, per se, on the defense. So I could try and pull some of those forces back and actually have them, well, given time to rest, really, and recuperate. That would be quite good. Yeah. We'll have to try and figure that out. I could likely afford pulling out completely. I don't think it'd kill us. We'd lose access to the oil, but in fairness, we're actually in a better position than we were in the Grand Campaign. Mostly because we haven't been driving everywhere. If I take a look at the actual production over here. I have that on. So we have 150k in the store right now. Obviously, we do have the artificial production of fuel. I forget what it is now. Fuel production. Yeah, there goes synthetic fuel. That's what I was looking for. So we do produce some fuel. Also, we have the majority coming from the oil refinery. We do have synthetic fuel production here, which is nearly on par. The issue is obviously, well, we can't maintain forever, but we do have a decent resource store. We've got some oil there. So I think essentially what I tried to do then is draw what I could from my corp, and then likely draw out of the area. The issue with the Caucasus over here, at least with the Cabana, I should say, is that we do have some infrastructure in here. Like, we do have some rails, but I need really like another connection here, and I don't have that. I do have ports, which certainly do help, but they're not gonna bring enough, really. They bring a decent amount, but not quite what we need. Like, I need to have like these big old rails that are bringing like 30 odd K. That's what we need there. So I think what I'd likely do then, I don't know, what do you guys feel about it? I feel like probably pulling out of the Caucasus slowly, but ultimately out of the Caucasus completely, would likely be a wise idea. At least in that, I can, well, I can actually up the density of men elsewhere, but draw some off, and not get myself potentially caught out. I'm gonna have a drink of tea here. I've been stirring it for a little while. I've run out of coffee, and it is a nightmare. Ah, yeah, tea's cold already. Nice. Now that I'm a fan of cold tea, I just forget about it. And it's cold. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, so the positions over here then, light woods. These divisions over here, like, they will cause problems and they could likely push us back. I mean, when we only have, what, 1,500 men, they're going to push us back. I would really like to hold these fortifications, really, because they're not easily regained. I do need to draw men out of here. It may be the case that we draw men out of here before we actually get on with doing this, I think, perhaps. Maybe pull out partially, draw a line between Krasnodar. Yeah, see, this is the thing about that, is it's like, then we're kind of pinned on the geography. Like, we then have to hold this, and if Rostov ever fell, or if these rail lines are ever cut, then this area becomes really quite exposed. I think a slow withdrawal will be the best we can get. If I can anchor myself at Rostov, obviously close off the Crimea, it really reduces the amount of men I have to commit to that area. Pretty dramatically. And I think then what we'd want to do then is have like a return here in the summer, essentially. Well, the spring-summer period, really. A return then. If we could try and hold a rough line like this, we might be able to do something like that. But it's not going to be easily done. It's easy said, but it's not easily done. So these are down to 0. We're going to be pulling out of this area. I think we'll just pull out. Where we can anyway. Not every unit can move as far as I'd like, which does make it a little bit harder. Okay. So I've got 253rd there. I'm going to pull back so I can reform divisions, and then we'll pull back in that way. So they can go there. They can both go there. So I can fall back to the position here. Actually doesn't help me out all that much. So I can fall back to light woods. I mean, this is going to take some time to pull back. But at least by pulling back, I am making that withdrawal. It's not going to be easily done, but it'll be done. They can move further back in fairness, so we'll try and manage it, really. Is that really clear hex? Oh, right, okay. I was going to say. If you plan to return in spring-summer, go straight out for the Caucasus. The gains are bigger between the oil and the points. Well, this is it, isn't it, really? Trying to secure Moscow could be quite good, though. Well, I mean, to be fair, we don't even have Leningrad in this game, do we? I say that as if it's, like, to be expected, but in reality it didn't historically fall. But I think probably, like, a push towards, like, Leningrad, securing that city there, quite good. I mean, that's the thing as well, is that if we pull out of the Caucasus to then return to the future, it does mean that it means that forces are available for operations elsewhere. I mean, like, taking on Leningrad would be quite good, actually. As you can imagine. We would very much like that. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to try and pull out as far as we can, but that's not going to be easy. I could fall back to the level 3 fort there. And then base myself. I mean, that clear is going to be a bit annoying, but at least I can have like the heavy woods there and try and base it like that. We'll try our best, really. So I've got the 1/10 over here then. The 86 then. Okay. It's going to be quite the confusing pullback. Like, I don't have fortifications here, which makes things a little bit tough. Okay, well the 86 can move here then. These elements can move to this position here. Okay. They can shift into the level 3 fort there. These guys are in a good position because I could move them to real support anywhere. I don't want to really... I don't need to hold that, which is fine. Just need to pull back. We'll do it slowly and bit by bit. Oh, they've not been reformed, that's why. If I fell back to that position there, I mean, we've got 20 defensive strength there, 24 there. I mean, it says a lot about a light woods position with level 3 forts isn't as, well, strong as the heavy woods over here. But, yeah. I'd rather cement myself in the heavy woods. At least they're in a position there where they can fall back. That's what's intended there. I do have forces over here that be pushing out, well, pulling back this way. I'm going to move to that position, I do believe. So I do have Großdeutschland over here. I'm just going to move Großdeutschland over there for the time being. Right, so they'll move there, and... yeah, okay, so they'll both move there. All three, I should say. So we'll have a 206 there. So I'll have a 206 there. I could have it on the front line, or I could move it elsewhere. But I've got also the heavy woods here, but I feel like I'm going to have forces pull back here. But what I'll do then is I'll see what I can do over here and then pull back. So I do have the 87th there. So we have a 251st. Yeah, I don't want to be in the clear terrain. Here's what I want to be. Okay. So move the Grosch Deutschland there. Yeah, move on to the heavy woods there. I'm concerned about the terrain more than anything else. So that division over there wouldn't be the best position. But I could have like a solid fallback position here then. I could even move it further to the south there if I wanted to. But we'll see what I can do. So I've got heavy woods there. Light woods there. Swamp. Heavy wood. Okay. There's a lot of troops over here, a lot of infantry. It doesn't help when the enemy has the artillery divisions over there. I mean, artillery has really been changed, so it's a hell of a lot more impactful now. So heavy woods there. But then again, this is the thing, I could have these divisions pulled back all the way down here. And I think I would like to do that. I have plenty of troops here, but if I could actually really increase my strength over here on the neck, that's going to be really worthwhile. Yeah, I mean, they can do that too. I do have that core. And I think I'd like to take that core down that way. So I'm going to do that. The light woods isn't great to work with there. But we'll do what we can. So 11,000, 10,000. These divisions are alright to go, more or less. Okay. Now they can't move that far down. I'd like to really potentially reinforce the light woods here. That core's overloaded, yeah, that's for sure. Okay, these forces can't move as far back. Oh, they can move a good distance there. Yeah, I'm going to have that move there. So that has actually put quite a bit more strength there. I mean, if we take a look there, some of these divisions do very much vary. Okay, that makes sense why they're a little bit weaker than the other. I wish I'd noticed that. But I can fix that. But yeah, well, I can play something here to actually help to beef that up. If I could try and bring Grosch Deutschland and like the Panzers back down like over this way, we can assess this. This is where the threat really is around Veliki Luki. The threat over here is obviously one that, well, it's going to win for them because it's going to mean they regain that area. But in reality, there's not that much in the area for me to really care about losing too much. We're here in the winter, we have to acknowledge that, and we will acknowledge that. And acknowledging that is pulling back to where you can live to fight another day. And do so in a manner that's actually going to see a mechanized army rather than like a World War I-esque army. What I mean by that is I don't want to lose all the equipment and etc. and see us just revert. Okay. I'll reinforce our position now with the 256. Brings us up to 20 there. It's 2 divisions, so it does bring us up to about 21,000-ish men. And about I don't know, yeah, near enough, like 230-ish guns, 240-ish, about 230-ish. It is a shame to abandon the base over here. Supply, who knows what will happen there. But at the end of the day, I can't remain for 4K supply. We can generate supply, we can generate that. We do have a stockpile of freight over here at Smolensk. That's not a tremendous problem. It's not great. And it does empower the Soviets, but at the end of the day, it's not that big of a difference. Okay. So they can move to the heavy woods there. 13 can move to the heavy woods too. Space is something worthwhile having. I'd really prefer to be down here. And I'm going to go for that. I need to use the terrain here. Like over here then, yeah, granted we have some light woods there, but I can actually help deal with that situation there. If I could pull them back, I would do, but alas I can't. But elsewhere then we do have a heavy woods working in our favour. Granted we have no forts, but yeah, well, it is what it is. Had we been able to hold that, then maybe we might have lingered here a little bit longer. But no, I'm kidding. We really wouldn't have. It's just not worth it. Okay. These forces over here do have a lot more freedom to fall back. How you doing there, listener? I can see you're doing your namesake. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit harder. I think I'm going to go ahead and try and use the rivers over here. I may try to hold Vyazma. Vyazma, how you to say that. But, I don't know. It probably would be worth holding because, frankly, well, I don't know. I've got forts over here that I can make use of. I don't have forts here, but I could build forts there. It'd be nice to hold on to deny them the rail yard. That'd be the only thing there. But they have a rail yard there. They have a rail yard there. Yeah. I mean, in fairness, Moscow's over here. The rail yards down here don't really much matter. They've got enough capacity out here. Granted, there's only this one rail line, so they can only send so much down there. But they do have a roads, of course. It's just not that far from the capital. So, holding the city would be nice, but it's like at what cost? I could, I'm just going to have to take a look at where I'm going to get the best terrain, really. And the best terrain would just... I think it'd probably be linking up over here. I've got... I don't know, it's really quite mixed. But the further I fell back, the better, really. If I could have like a straight line across here, it'd be better than something like that. I do have swamp land over here as well. And even though we do have clear terrain in here, I do have a city of Smolensk. And that is a pretty solid position there with the urban. So at least I could build up on that. So I think that's what we'll aim for then, really. It's just full pullback. To stay is to die. Maybe not initially, but over time, potentially. I'll go for like a straight line just as we pull back, but we'll see. Okay. It would be nice to go there, but I need to hold it, I guess. But I think I'll pull these troops back first, perhaps. At least over here I can make something of that. So I could go for a straight line. More or less like that, I guess. How you doing there, Salty? Good to have you, my man. Yeah, you made it. Welcome. Welcome. Konnichiwa. Yeah, I think we'll go for that straight line near enough. Okay. So I've got the forces that can pull back there, no problem. Numbers is something to bear in mind, but yeah, we'll make it work. I'm gonna have to rejig the commands around here quite a lot, but that's doable. The panzers, I'm gonna have essentially all the panzers and the motorized just brought down this way. We'll have additional forces over here. I could maybe even make some sort of small counterattack over here to try and snip that. That'd be nice. Just try and draw like a more straight to edge, really. But freeing up additional troops from here would be quite nice. If I could have them potentially move down this way. If I could try and draw the Axis allies off the front line, then at least I could make that. Then of course we'll have our slow pullback in this area too. Yeah, exactly. Advance it to the rear. The war's not going to be run right now. It'd be nice to go like that. But even if we were to cut them off, it's... this is shit terrain. They'd linger for a long time. It wouldn't be easy. It'd be very interesting though, because obviously I'm talking about moving into the summer, well, spring and summer for like offensives. And it's obviously going to be doing the same, so we'll just have to see what we can do. They do have numbers, but if we actually do perform pretty good defense and go for limited advance, limited encirclements of the enemy, we could probably still make it. With how things are right now, Victory is going to become harder to gain. Yeah, so we have until July 1943 over here to gain 800 for a sudden victory. And that's only for turn 33. But that might be doable. But then again, it does become... Well, that's one of those where we're not going to be able to gain a victory, but I think we can try and do that. I think we could. It'd be harder, but I think we could do that. It'd be great to hold on to Stalingrad. It really would be. But I'm just not going to be able to do that. I think essentially what would have to do then is have forces just utilise just to hold the line for now, sort of thing. We are quite unfortunate because we do have all this infrastructure built up already. Yeah, I mean, like, you can see all the green over here. We have that infrastructure built up already. So I do have a lot more infrastructure in place from the get-go, which is very good. So that's quite handy. Yeah, I could gain 36 points by taking Leningrad, which is good. So, we're at 673 right now. The Rosnesh having up an outside would be nice to hold on to. I mean, the good news is that we do have okay strength in certain areas. Like, okay is maybe not the best word for descriptions, but it's not too bad out here. I just need to get forces down to this area over here, really, and withdraw from that. If we could try and keep on, keep a hold of Krasnodar and Maikop, that'd be nice. But we'll see, to be honest. We still have some time, like, what was it, like 30 odd turns. So we've still got time. The winter's not going to be as severe on, well, against us. So that's pretty nice. So we'll make that work. Okay. But yeah, bringing back these panzer forces. Essentially, I want to reform the panzer armies. And what I mean by that is actually have them not tied down to the infantry. Okay. They can all move relatively well, so that's good. Yeah, 13s, 15s there. Yeah, they're all good to go. That's fine. 16 is very good there. And, yeah, I'm going to try and make this work. Ah, how are you doing there, my friend? Now, I do know some kanji, but I'm not... I mean, I am going to have to start learning Mandarin. That's going to be the future goal there. So I'd love to know a name to call you by. But yeah, thank you for staying up there. Don't stay up too late if you got work tomorrow or something of that nature. It's not worth it. It'll be recorded. But I appreciate the sentiment all the same. Okay, so we're going to go for a line here then. Go for that. That is a 3rd Panzer Army. I'm going to have to try and make use of those headquarters. But we should be able to do that. Yeah, we'll go for a straight line here. I do have the river at least to work with. I could try and hold on to the city this turn perhaps. But even then, I don't know if it's worthwhile. It's a Saturday. True, I forgot it was a Friday, actually. I forgot it was a Friday. To be fair, though, I have worked jobs in the past where I had to work Saturdays anyway. and Sunday, and all week. But hey-ho. That's quite funny, actually. Okay. I'm just going to go for the straight line for now. I just want to make it as... maybe like that so I can hold the rail, so the road. I think I'd like to hold that road. Yeah, no weekends. I'm gonna go like that then, I guess. And then I can come down on that hex and link up with that level 3. And then hold on to the road here. And I guess I can also utilize the city then to a degree. It does mean that there's a clear hex here, but I could even move around by in fairness. But I do want to hold that stretch of good road there too, perhaps. We have a lot of options in fairness. Okay, so I do have the Luftwaffe. Where are... So, yeah, they're really quite spread out there. I'm going to have them move back to that town, whatever that is for now. Like so. Okay. Really, I want to have units in front of the city over here, then, so I can actually maintain that for the rail. But I'd really want to have another hex in front here. See, there's quite a lot of freight stored there. We can keep that there for now. Yeah, double-sided units along the road. I mean, yeah, roads do give benefits. That's also true. And we do have the men in the area to do that, in fairness. I think I'll hold that position there. Maybe it was a mistake here, but I think it's worthwhile to hold it for now to try and draw out from it. Yeah. What I'll do then is I'll set up another depot, I think, around this sort of area, perhaps. Do we have a rail yard there? I don't. Okay. No rail yard there. Okay. It's not so bad because I do have a road over here, and that helps out. I could set a depot up over here, and in fairness, no, it's not too bad, in fact. I can keep that depot active for now. I'm going to keep it on low priority. And I think I'll keep that one on low priority as well. So there's 2 depots in that area. I could have another depot set up in this area here. But then it's like, do I really want to be here? I think I'd rather pull back further, I think. Oh yeah, the motorized are going to be pulled out completely. The motorized and armor are going to be pulled out this way. They can move no problem. I'm still going to move them last. Okay. I do want to reinforce this area here as well. The 8th SS would be quite useful around this area. But it's like around here, I'm using essentially regiments. But we'll get this sorted out first and then go from there then. Okay. God damn, so these guys have a lot of room to play with. I don't know, I'm quite tempted to abandon that position there, but it's fortified. But then it's like, well, it's fortified, but I'm using divisions to hold that okay, but it doesn't really help me that much. I'd like to have that dug though first, I guess. No, maybe I just pulled out from that. It is all heavy wood, though. It's really hard to say no to that. I could maybe go ahead and just take... it's a tough one there. I could maybe take a regiment from these 2 divisions here, so I have like 2 regiments to start digging that in. Or I could just fall back with the 2 divisions over here, or just 1 division into here. 2 divisions probably get that done. Something of that nature. The divisions itself, then, so that has 24 construction value. If I assign them like a pioneer unit or a construction unit to their core headquarters, I'd get that dug fairly quickly. But then again, it's also a consideration of, am I going to be maintaining that position? I do have light woods there. Clear terrain there. I suppose it's not always going to be a perfect defensive line. Try and make use of what we have there. Hey, do that, I know. Oh, are they in the Axis Reserve? Fair enough. Yeah, so what I'm thinking here then is... I could maybe have that one fall back there. I might just want to have them. I think really, in fact, I don't need the rail, do I, really? So it doesn't matter, it's already got the freight stored there. I think what essentially I'm looking for is just go like that. Well, about that or something. Yeah, about that. So if I can fall them back over here, then they can hold that position. It does see that ground there, but I want to have less divisions on the line. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking there. It means I can move more men out elsewhere then. So, like, in fairness, I could have these divisions moved over that way if I wanted to. which is actually quite important. So I think that's what we'll go ahead and do there. I can't really afford to have a core headquarter in there, but I'll just shift them out of here for the time being. Let's just move that there for now. So we'll go for something like that then. And then I could go ahead and take these guys, though some of them can't move as far. That 16 is pretty good. Even just increasing the strength over this way would make a pretty big difference downstream. I'd really want to have a little bit more strength around here as well. So we'd have to see what we could do there. But frankly, we've got a lot more than we would do otherwise. So I've got a French volunteer infantry unit there. Okay. How many divisions do I really need here? I'd like to have maybe 2 on the clear terrain. That'd likely be a good idea, because we still have all of this force going down here. So I really do want to have them double stacked, don't I? Yeah, that'd be quite wise. So I'll have them move there. That one would be nice, but it's not going to... Well, that one could get to a position I'd like it to be in. So I'm going to hold that one for that purpose, I think. That division's in relatively good strength. Yeah, that one could move there too. But I am going to have the panzer forces and the motorized forces to move down this way. There's not much I need to hold here per se. I'd just like to increase the strength. I do have a Fleeker division over there. Rose is not in great strength. So I do have the 205th division there. Okay. If I can make these all infantry divisions, that'd be very good, in fact. That would be very good. Where's that? Scheiße. Right, that ain't gonna happen. So that's the 197th down that way. Okay. So... another... about 3 divisions here, perhaps. Something like that. But maybe I just concentrate on getting this line set up first. I think that's probably a way to go. Yeah, we'll make sure this can hold. Because if it doesn't hold, then obviously we're going to have problems, aren't we? So yeah, we'll go for that then. I'll worry about that with other units. I do have the motorized and the mechanized. Sorry, yeah, the motorized and the panzers I can pull out down that way anyway. They're all pulling out regardless. That's okay. So I will go for that. I need to have a division from the same formation there, but we'll see. Okay. And then Venice, I'd like to... I don't know, that one's fortified. But there is strength there. I'd love to pull back further if I could. How you doing there, Fenrir? Good to have you, my man. I think what I'll go ahead and do is maybe place a reserve there. Perhaps. Nah, how you doing there, Fenrir? Good to have you, my man. Okay, so I've got 5th Panzer Division there. So we'll reform 5th Panzer. Yeah, they're a little bit spread out, but I'm going to have them move down. 101 Panzers. Definitely not Dalmatians. But at least they're actually active and more or less ready to fight, which is okay. Not a lot of men there. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I could maybe have like regiments too, but I want to go for more than that, really. I think we can do that. I just need not be stingy. Okay. The answer is I just don't know that much about the game. You can make it look easy if you don't know that much. I'd like to have a little bit more there, but what can I do? Not all that much. Not all that much. But I still have another division there, so what I can go ahead and do then is... damn it. I wish I could take that back. I could shift that down there. Still got forces. Maybe shift them down that line. I think so. Yeah. Okay. I'd love to pull back further. Ah, yeah. Maybe something you can request on the forums, really. Or maybe fans. It'd be quite difficult, really, but I suppose they'd have to. Unless, I don't know. I guess it's one of those of, like, unless it's in their financial interest, they'll probably not do it. But they might do it. But at least the fans could do it. Right, Großdeutschland. I just want to get them reformed. First Panzer. That's First Panzer reformed there. And that's essentially what we're going to do, is have the motorized and mechanized move down that way. I keep saying mechanized, and I mean armored. Oh, that's 10th motorized. Where's 10th? Where the heck is 10th? Where the hell is 10th? Oh, there's 10th, okay. Yeah. That's like, where's 10th? So that's another thing here, is that we have regiments there. Yeah. At least we do have 2 divisions on that line now. Normally I would probably just left 1, but it doesn't make sense. We will expect vengeful Soviet forces to come down here. Okay. Let's move you there for now. I need to make sure I have forces to be able to pull that out of the line, really. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is probably just have the 10th motorized reformed, and we'll manage that for time being until I can get something there. So move over to LVI. 54th. Yeah, it's better to have them as a division. Far better to have them as a division. It's not great though. I mean, obviously they do need reinforcements. I could do a lot of things, but we'll see what we can do for them in the near future, really. Okay. Not ideal. Yeah, then that leaves the motorized and panzers. Okay. So granted we have abandoned quite a bit here. We do have supply etc. over there. But we have gained forces that can move now. Once you have those armored and motorized recruits and concentrated, you'll be able to pull out some hardcore counter. Well, that's it, essentially, is like being able to hit the enemy back. But during the winter, really, we'll try and keep attacks limited. I need to really be in a position where I can actually cut something off and outright destroy it. Routing them's okay, but it's only like a temporary solution. And really, we need to have something more meaningful. But we have that there. Yeah, the good news is I can actually bring a good concentration of armor and motorized down this way. Motorized is useful. Armor is obviously quite good too, but yeah. Armor is one of those where we really need to keep it out. I think really what I'd like to try and do is try and draw the armored units back into the Axis Reserve if I could. That'd be ideal. I'm going to cut this off in an hour. I don't know if we'll have another hour, but I'm going to have it there anyway. I know people do like the shorter episodes too, so I'd like to give people a choice. Maybe we do another hour. We'll see. Which is Storm Brigade. Ah, yeah. Ah, so just waiting on the guns that you say. Ah, yeah, the 88s, okay. Right. Oh, I can't have it moved back right now anyway. Have to have it moved back in the near future. Leave a space in the line on purpose to let the Soviets through, then cut them off. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. We'd have to be quite picky about the terrain in which we did it into. That one's nearly done. Yeah, so they can't be moved out for now. If I could try and pull back the armored units into the actual Axis Reserve, that'd be quite nice. That would be nice. So there are some weak links. Oops. But not too bad. I mean, it does say a lot when, even now, it's only 11 there. That's quite worrying. I may maintain like a motorized or something like that just in the areas to help out here. There's a lot of strength that'll be coming down here. I suppose at least the good thing is, well, they're going to spend some MP by moving. It's not going to be a lot though. There is quite a lot of them, so they are going to be concentrating further, which is going to hurt, but then, well, they're concentrating, which means that their numbers do work against them to a degree as well, if they overstack. Really, there's no real... there's no good way to cut it, is there, really? You just have to do what you have to do. And the situation would have been worse anyway, had we just left it as it was. So, yeah, there's really not all that much you can complain about, to be honest. Just kind of have to suck it up and deal with it, really. Okay. At least I can actually... I can likely work out the depots a little bit better. I might have a depot made here, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worthwhile, because it's like, well, I guess it is, but the depot's not going to be available straight away. But I could have a level 4 depot in terms of priority and then have them there. I just want something that's going to actually remain in place. I mean, I'd like to... I'm just going to have to try and guess here, but maybe... something like that. Issues then you have that gap there. But I mean, that's not that bad, I guess. You could kind of go like that, perhaps. That gap there can be dealt with, but we do have some good defenses to fall back onto. So I may have another depot set up, maybe about here. I could have a temporary depot set up over here for now, then, just to try and help supply and move through that area. It does cost me viable administration points, though. Actually, no, I can't do it there. I'd have to do it there. So it'd have to be there. Yeah, okay. I'll set one up temporarily. I don't want to have that much out here, really. But I don't want to have additional freight sent to them either. They should be okay. I mean, we'll be able to pull back anyway. There's not going to be a lot of capacity here anyway, so I don't think it makes really much of a difference there. Yeah. Yeah, the motorized etc. should be coming down this way. We do have forces elsewhere. Like, the enemy's power will disperse now along the line. I really would have preferred to have fallen back further, but I was really... It really came down to the fact that the 253rd could have moved that far. There's a part of me that's like, do I just abandon the 253rd? So I'm just thinking here, if I abandon the 253rd, I kind of wish I'd committed to that from the start, actually. Because I could have essentially pulled everything back there and would have had everything there. Every division does matter, so I don't want to just leave them. And they likely would be surrounded and destroyed, which is not ideal. So I guess we stick with what we have. There's a part of me that would love to pull back completely, and maybe had I considered that at the start, then I probably would have done something like that. Yeah, I guess it's one of those of where there's not all that much that could be done about that. But then I could have had them deployed in a different way. So that's fine. We'll stick with what we've got now. Yeah, we'll stick with what we've got. To Axis Reserve. No, unfortunately. It's fine. I tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and microwave this coffee, so 1 second. I'm literally in my kitchen and my microwave is right behind me, so I don't even need to stand up, but I'm gonna stand up just to make it seem like I'm a civilized fucking human being. We don't live in Wall-E world yet. Yet. Oh, how you doing there, George? You came back just in time to hear my microwave. Oh dear. I do like that suggestion though, there, Simon. I do like that one. Would have been nice to abandon that one, but yeah. Here we are. Okay. That needs to go down to 0. That's fine. Oh, I got some shitty... what is it? It is... oh, whatever Olcaf is. Olcaf. Yeah, Alcaf. Whatever that is. Awful. I normally like Dow egg, but that's usually what I go for in terms of like instant coffee. I do ground beans, but I have to grind them. We send the Luftwaffe. Oh well, that's a. Oh right, okay. I just love you. I never print a full fucking name. I think I'd have them as garrison troops, really. Even the actual static divisions have... well, security divisions do tend to have more power. Which then again makes you wonder, well, maybe it's worthwhile to send them back. I don't know, we'll probably have them sent back off some sort of garrison duty. It's going to be trying to figure out which one's which, really. Ooh. How you doing there, Veg? Do go ahead and check out Vegetius. I don't want to say vegetable, but check out Vegetius. Vegeta. Go ahead and check out Vegeta Gaming. I'm sorry, man. Oh dear. Yeah, it does look familiar. How's your campaign going? Ah, Slanggrad's a bit of a bitch, isn't it? Oh. Okay, well, I'm getting off on a tangent. We need to figure out what we're going to do with the actual motorized panzers, etc. So, assessing the situation over here, then. The light ones over here is a bit of an issue. We do have heavy ones over there, which is pretty fantastic. I've got light ones there, and no fortifications, which isn't great. Of veggie. Yes, I should I? Light ones, okay. I would have loved to have been able to get divisions here. And maybe I would have had I been a little bit... we can regret that. We'll go with it as is. At the end of the day, we have to try to hold on to each division, don't we? So if I'm taking a look then at what else we do from here then, and it's going to be interesting. I do have 14th Motorized Division that can help out here. What I need to do is essentially try and shift forces along here. The issue is under 197th Division. The regiment is down there, over here, which does not help us out any which way. I've got 330 over there. And I've got the 547 separate infantry regiment. I think that can, yeah, it's a multi-role unit, so that could actually be made a support unit, and I would prefer to have as a support unit. So I'll draw that off the line in the future there. We do have absolutely pitiful Luftwaffe units over here, in terms of their strength. This over here is an interesting one. We do have the Guard Corps and the Guards Division. And we do have the Mechanized Corps here. But there's not a tremendous amount of strength there right now. So it can be blunted. Especially having Veliki Luki over here, I would very much like to get as much into that as I could. It'd have been great to have got the entire division in there, but alas, they can't get in there. But they can get in there, so I'll make use of them. This area over here is a bit of a worrying prospect. But it's an interesting one, really. Because the enemy isn't that strong right now, doesn't mean that they won't be in the turn and they won't press their return. But we do have some leeway there. There's not a huge amount for them to gain, per se. So how do you guys feel about this? I'm considering using the motorized just to sort of like patch things up on the flank there. Just for now. I really don't like having to do that, but I think if we potentially consider something of that nature... I might be able to do it. Frankly, we're going to need... So So I've got light woods over here where we gain that +1 there. That's fine. We've got clear terrain now, which is god-awful. And I've got clear... Oh, that's awful. The terrain over here isn't great. What do I stand to lose then? So I do have Neville, which doesn't really have anything in it. Obviously, I do want to maintain that rail line, so being a dual rail line. I'd love to go for the counter-attack to throw them back across the river, but I don't think I actually do have a strength to do that. These Panzer divisions are less than what they should be. And if we take a look at the actual TOEs that they should have... Yeah, we should have 90... I mean, obviously we should have 90 Panzer III Ms. Obviously, we don't have... we've got 20 Panzer IVs, so yeah, that's not too bad. But yeah, we got 20% there, 59% there. There's not a whole lot in there, and it's just... Yeah. Engineer, motorized, yeah. We're not looking particularly strong. Well, this is it really. We can make this hold, but there's not that much to lose over here, so that's fine. This I'd like to maintain that rail line, but I don't actually need it per se. So what we'll try to go for then is, well, we do have the rough terrain over here, which is nice. I do have, it doesn't help that we have patchy terrain over here. Yeah, I know. These panzers are not what they should be. Good old Panzer 3080, how I love you. In fact, I think in the actual Warner Pacific game, I'd probably kill to have a couple of Panzer 3080s. They'd actually be, yeah, I'd take them. I'd take them any day of the week. Okay. So if we take a look then, we do have about 3 Panzer divisions there. Well, actually we do have further in the way Panzer divisions reserves. What I want to go ahead and do is form up another division over here. Clear terrain's an interesting one, really. It is an interesting one. What I'm considering here, then, it's a bit of a difficult one. I could maybe go for 2 regiments per hex. How you doing there, David Bartello? Good to have you, my friend. Might I say you're looking fairly attractive here today. Dashing, even. Not like a dash hound, but all the same. Yeah, so I could go for potentially 2 regiments there, but that doesn't really help me out too much. I'd gain 1 more hex, but I gain 1 more hex at the cost of strength there. And I was going to go ahead and grab my couple hour old T-outs. How you doing there, George? I said hello. Yeah, I did. Well, I didn't do the thing earlier on. I was like grabbing a cup of tea out of the microwave, which sounds pretty like crazy. Yeah, I've got Odessa. It's another bitch. Okay. I do have 1st Panzer Division there. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I thought, you know what, I might as well go ahead and do a little bit more 1vs. I'd missed it, to be fair. These guys form a bit of a wild card, really. I do want divisional strength, though. Need that. The threat really is around this area here. This can kind of be dealt with. They probably will push back, but there's room here to play with. Yeah, these are fairly weak units. I do have some Panzer reserves, though. If you can even call them that. So I've got 20th Panzer over here, which I'll bring out this way. This scenario takes place just as Stalingrad has been surrounded. There we are. So we are in essentially the historical positions at this time of November 26, 1942. So we do have a surrounded German army here at Stalingrad, which is about 200,000 men. We do have the historical positions down there too. And then obviously we had the German forays out here, and then obviously over here, which we pulled back from. Now, I may... have to just see this sort of area here to a degree. It depends really. I'd rather work with the actual terrain. But there's not all that much there, and I do have a city of Elikiluki over here as well to work with. Maintaining that city there is quite important. Not really because of the city itself, but more so because we have those fortifications there. That level of fortification doesn't go down easy. It gives us a lot to play with there, really. And I do like to play. It means that we can actually use it as an anchor point. It is awkward because it's on the other side of the river there. Probably 1944, 1945, 1944, something like that. Weapons like that don't really make much of a difference. I mean, obviously they're great, but it's just too far gone. But they do help. Obviously, it'd be great to have them now. I'm on an R end about how to do this. I think essentially what I want to do is form things up into divisions first and foremost. I think that's what we kind of have to go for. But I don't want to do that because that means I'm going to have gaps over here and I need to not have gaps. Yeah, the third's a bit of a mixed bag right now. So I could bring to bear about 4,500 men there. And again, much the same over here. No, I've not given up on Modern Pacific. We just had a delay. I had some exam at work to do in the week. I had like a couple of essays and yeah, I said exam at work. And Gary, aka Infinite Monkey, who does do a grand job at helping me out with pilots and etc. He had gone to visit his daughter and see family for a weekend. Well, about 10 days or so. He's only just got back. We discussed the state of the turn last night, and we're going to get that sorted quite soon. Yeah, getting back to it shortly. Thank you very much for that, Alpha. Okay, so let's take a look at this then. I'm going to make a decision. I do have, well, to be fair, I do have forces over here to the north as well. That's quite handy. Fortunate, even. Which one is the more defensive? I'm going to take the 18th down. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so the 18th can be moved down this way. I do also have a Panzer Division there. That's quite good. I could move into the swamp over here to try and gain that. Then swamp there, which doesn't help me out. Yeah, that's the issue of the AI. We are playing on a harder difficulty where they are able to teleport effectively, so we should have a greater challenge there. I may try... The heavy woods there is nice, but I'm going to kind of ignore this area here for the time being, I think. Though I was saying that I do have better defensive terrain there. Really, I need to get men in here. For now, we just need to try and manage. I'm going to pull back overtime from the Caucasus over here from Kuban. We've pulled back over here, we'll be pulling back further as well. Then what we'll do is essentially just try and shore the line up for the time being and then use forces to siege, well, to siege Leningrad, finish off Leningrad. That needs to be done. And then in the spring and summer, return to the Kuban. I don't want to really linger out here. I do want to try and extract what I can from the area while I can, but then pull out. And then return in the summer. Spring and summer. The 6th Army, I will abandon Stalingrad. I don't really have a choice there. We should be able to break out the 6th Army this turn. And then just try to get out. But that's not going to be easy. But drawing forces out from here. Rectifying the situation here, then having forces shift down the line is going to be quite important. Shifting the Italians and Hungarians off the line is going to be important too. And Romanians. This part of the line is just not strong. It's just not going to do any good. Maybe even just redraw the line. Like Rostov down that way. Yeah. This is okay over here. We'll try and manage that situation. Okay. I need to get this done. I'd love to attack that. I might just have to accept the inherent risk here. I do have mountaineers, thankfully. So at least I can work something there. That's quite nice. Um, I mean, technically, yes, if they were airdrop capable. But I think beyond that, they can't be. I like the idea, though. I like that thinking. Yeah, that's thinking outside the box. So, I think we're going to go ahead and do here, then. I would like to, if I could, I'd like to get more troops into Veliki Luki, really. Yeah. I really want to get them in there. Just to... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd have enough power to tackle that. I do have the level 3 forts over here that I'd like to maintain. I mean, also the level 3 over here. Ah, no problem there, Simon. It's a good question. Asked by an attractive man in the prime of his life. You can see that vigor flowing. Okay. 9,000 there. I'd really have to have it motorized in the 8th Panzer to even make that a viable option, but it is probably a good option. I'm going to likely have to just, I think we kind of just cede that area for the time being. There's not really much of a threat there. I do have the rail coming in this way, so at least that's something. What I'm going to go ahead and do then is make use of fortified positions here. If I can maintain those. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, if I can maintain something like that, and then try and make it work here. I do have forts there. There's forts over here, but there's not a lot of density of enemy troops there. So, really, the enemy is pushing forces down this way and pushing forces down that way. That one can be curtailed here. This is only a slight problem. I could effectively leave it as is. It would cost me. I'd prefer to have a Luftwaffe off the line there. But I could manage it. This is going to have to be rectified there. Like, I need something here to make that work, otherwise it collapses. Even here it could potentially collapse. So we'll have to see what we can do. I may even have that division move down here, to be fair. The threat is greater down. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take that one. As much as I would prefer not to, I think I have to. No, you can just download it. It's called Epic Pen. I don't get paid by them at all, by the way. Yeah, just go in here, you can download it for free. I've got the paid version, but I don't really use much of the features, to be honest. And again, I'd love to pull back. Oh, it's still tempting. It's still tempting. I do have Grossdeutschland over here as well still, so that's quite good. But now I'm going to go down this way. I've got the light woods over here. I need to prevent them from getting to the rail line, or this all starts to fall apart there. So that has to go there. At least that does shore us up over here. It just makes it harder for the mechanized over here to actually maneuver. Right. You know what I'd really love to have? Is I'd love to have a Galaxy just, I don't know, War of the Northern Plains. You know, like a World War III one. That'd be really interesting. I'd love to try and play this at like a divisional level game at like, you know what I mean? At the Third World War, that'd be really cool. Obviously, probably not work, but it'd be cool. Okay, Grossdeutschland. Grossdeutschland's an interesting one because well, their morale's actually a little bit lower than it should be. It has a capacity to be quite high, but 81's still pretty good. Yeah, it's better than the 14th. Better than the 36th as well. So I could maybe use them there, but I'd like to have more numbers here. Yeah, War in Europe eventually will come. Yeah, just download it. It's worth doing. Okay. Ah, yeah, exactly. Right, I'm going to just draw that off here. I am, as much as I hate it, I really do hate it. I do hate to say it. But I am going to go ahead and just rely on regiments here from the regular infantry. George is going to begin an infantry boulder right now. I really don't like it. Yeah, this unit will fall apart, but for now it'll remain here. And do you have any forces that can currently start digging in? Essentially what will happen is they'll dig in where they are now. Every division, every unit has its own construction value, which is what's used to actually make fortifications. I forget what the number is for fortifications, but whether it impacts on that, and yeah. Just how many men you have there, how much construction value you have there, makes a big old impact. Secondary fall back lines. Sun! This is the Eastern Front. There's not really fallback lines. There's just vastness. I think the most profound thing, actually, because I visited Moscow, and it really feels awful to say now, 6 years ago. And the thing that struck me about visiting Moscow, I landed at an airport around this sort of area called Domodovo, I think it was, or Domodovo? I can't remember how to pronounce it. Domodovo, I think it was. And the thing that struck me is just how fucking flat. It's so flat. And it freaks you out. Yeah. And what I'm going to be trying to use the Ep.4 then is likely depots. About 30 of that is probably going to be going towards like an assault army, like turning the actual panzer armies into assault armies. I think so anyway. But yeah, we can do things. We can do quite a few things. Oh my god, it's Carl! Holy fuck. Where have you been, my man? I got the dream team. Okay. These guys need to be rebuilt. So they're really quite a meme there. That's good. You're looking great. Okaka-sama desu. Okaka-sama desu ne. I think that's it. I forget how it goes exactly. Yeah, I know I keep pondering an and an over here. I'm just trying to make this work. That'll do for now. Not really, but it'll have to do. I didn't really want to do that, but it does allow us to bring the division there, double up over here. That's gonna kind of suck for the 8th SS. There's not all that much I can do about that for them. I do have the French volunteers, like... Well, actually, no, the French volunteers could be moved out that way, and at least that does bring their strength up a slight bit. But it just feels like it's going to get screwed anyway. But even knowing it's going to get screwed, it's still worthwhile to get screwed in place. Yeah, the 6th Army was encircled. So there we are. That situation is yet to be dealt with. I spent a good couple hours on this on this goddamn scenario, and I've barely done anything. That's what I found really... I do find that really funny. I do think it's really quite amusing. We can play combat. Okay, let me go ahead and take a look then. So we've got 9th Panzer, which is in pretty good shape. 2nd Panzer, not particularly great shape. 26 motorized. 101 there. I need to get into gravitating tactics as well, actually, that's another one. I'm going to be doing more command modern operations tomorrow, actually, for Slytherin, and I need to learn how that game works. I mean, I'll be doing more of that too. The Air Forces have withdrawn, for the most part. What we have is essentially just fighter squadrons. If I go ahead and take a look. I've reduced air strength down to 612 for the moment, and a lot of that is actually around Stalingrad. I can't have just sent straight back to reserves. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it, Pidgey. I always stay fucking forever. People will know. People will know. There's a video I put on channel recently, actually. Where I had to go at 1950s campaign. In the future, I'm going to be after the 18th, somewhere around after the 18th. I'm going to be finding like some time to do like a stream with Kushan Gaming. I believe it's actually a developer of the game, of CMO. I think it's a developer, or one of the developers. Obviously, there's quite a few. But I'm going to have him actually guide me through a scenario, so that'll be quite nice. I'll make him do all the maths, like maths to math. I'll make him do all the math. Yeah, I'm going to come out here. Okay, so what I'm thinking is like a maybe use the 14th round here, but I need to make sure the strength is here. But I need to also pay attention to this area here too. So I can move that far. I may take the 36 and have them reinforce this area. This area will kind of have to suck it up. Okay. 101 Panzers. We're not quite Dalmatians, but they're not far off. A motorized over here would be quite nice, but I really need to have divisions. Extra fuel. When you're old and grey. They'll have to go there. I'm going to just build that strength up now. Not they aren't already. Right, okay, I might take the Mountaineers and actually have them move down this way. There's 2,400 men there. 2,500. 20, yeah, okay. I may have them reform in this hex here, perhaps. Or even around here. I don't know. It's a difficult one, really. I need them as a full unit. But no, in fact, I'm going to keep them here. Just have them build up as a full. Oh, fuck. Yes, of course. Fudge. Ah, fudge. Okay, I'll figure out that one. Right, so they could come down this way. It'd be great if I could get another division here, but I don't want to have less than a division on here. I do want to occupy that position there, level 3 forts. I'm going to have to just try and keep it quite tight here, just because obviously I just don't have that many troops, and I want to try and concentrate rather than spread out. If I could try and the issue is there's a lot of strength there, quite a lot. Yeah, first image. I really hope the city doesn't fall. It's likely okay. Now the issue is I'd like to hold that position there. There's level 3 forts here, but frankly it doesn't do me all that good. What I could do then is essentially use this as an anchor point over here. And then just anchor along this line here. It does leave this open, which is a bit of a threat, but there's not that much here. And I think that's what we're going to have to go for then. Yeah, I think that's what we'll go for. This regiment's in such an awkward position. It's got enough strength to actually be something worthwhile, so that's quite nice. So I'll have it placed over here then, perhaps. Well, actually no, I'll place it on the rail line. Then we'll bring the Mountaineer Division here. But at least I can make use of the light woods over here and just numbers. Would be nice to get something in there. I've got a couple divisions of armor and etc. I can use, so that's quite good. Okay. See that, move that out of the way. Actually not moving that far, so I may need to move it elsewhere. That divided up there is 3,600 men. 12,000 men there. I'd rather use the 36 motorized to divide back, simply more men to work with. I do have Großdeutschland, which again, yeah, less men there, which is not great. Maybe in fact I have Großdeutschland, I think I have Großdeutschland in this area here then, really. I could have them positioned maybe even on the road here, and then they can act as reserve. Yes, that one there, yeah. That's something I'd like to do. I can't do it right now, but that's something I'd like to do. It's a good idea. How you doing there, Milo? Good to have you. Or Milo. Even. Now I've got the first Panzer here, but they're lacking. I may have unit sensor reserve. It'd be nice to get something sensor reserve rather quickly. Right. Yeah, these are not particularly strong units, are they? Not really. $9,000 men. 9,000. I need to have the strongest force really opposing here. And that's a reaching statement. But my lord, no such force exists. You know the meme now. You know the Isengard one. Yeah, that's it. 8,000. 140 Panzer. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, this ain't a very oh, fuck me. That's just motorized division. Okay. How you doing there, Sarge? I made decisions, it's just I like try and pad out the time. Okay. Yeah, that's the new powers, right? So that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and have a knife panzer move there. As much as I would like to have it there, just I need numbers. But then again, clearing it's difficult. Frankly, there's no good choice. I'm gonna kind of have to hope that they can manage in there. And did I mention it's gonna be difficult? But I need the panzers, don't I? Really? Yeah, the panzers are gonna be the only thing that actually are gonna have a chance there. 84 morale's not bad at all. I guess we'll go there. This is a map mod in fairness, and in fairness, George, it is winter time. So, there's snow all over the place. I mean, if I go ahead and turn that off... Where do I do that? I always forget which button it is. Is it that one? Ah, there we go. Yeah. This is a map mod, though, so better than I mind. It just makes the terrain a little bit clearer. I do like the trees, but yeah, this is a map mod I'm using right now. I do like the winter, though. I like watching Dojo. I've been trying to keep up as much as I can. Okay. So they can also go there, then. And then I've got 87 Panzer, 80, 77 there, and then 81 there. There's not a lot to really play with, is there? But at least in the light buds they do have some advantage. Yeah, I quite like the map mod. Yeah, in fairness, it's one of those things if you don't know. I mean, I wasn't aware of that, really. I never tried it before. How you doing there, Kayla? Oh my god. I've become the new dojo. I did like the monocle, that was pretty cool. Okay. And I'd like to have them sort of cover this area here. But it, just cover these two hexes here, then. Is really what I'm going to get aimed for. Again, I'd like to have something there, but I think I will have Grossdeutschland. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. I don't... do I have anything additional than that? No, I moved that division down there, didn't I? Well, that regiment. Yeah, so we'll go with that then. 14th motorized. Now, these motorized divisions I could place into there. I didn't get into that because it starts that way. Do note, motherfucker, it's 1942 and it's turn 2. I didn't start the scenario. I do find out there, so Dojo lives in like, what is it, California or something like that, but his internet's it's so intermittent. Where does he live, like mountains or something? Dear. And I can't get it now, it's a bit of a problem. That's fine. I do want that hex though. I do want to maintain that level 3 fort though. So I am going to go ahead and do that. Just paying me though. I see that there, Georgie George. And I do have the Panzer divisions here. I'd like to move in there, but I'm not crazy, so I'm going to go ahead and move into that position there with the 36 motorized division. Now it's starting to look better. I mean, this is it. This is what we've gained from freeing up the forces over here, is that we actually do... I mean, it might be equivalent to like one Panzer division. Effectively, is one Panzer division. But at least it's my Panzer division. Ours. Yours. And we can do something with that. Which is quite nice. And at least I do have the light woods over here to work with and anchor myself to a degree. Not tremendously, but at least something. I could leave that reserve there. Maybe have that other unit then at a rough terrain just to make it hard to get around. Yeah, we might run away. I've got a job done. Oh dear. Yeah, they'll just have to deal with it from now. Not all that much I can do about their position. God damn, 21 Panzers is pathetic. Really, I don't want to have that now. Thankfully, I do have 2 Panzer divisions I can place there instead, because that is frankly pathetic. I could maybe have them there. I don't know. I feel like I'd be able to... If I put them on the actual depot here at Nebel, I could actually have a HQ and try to put some actual Panzers into them, or even just anything into them, really. Yeah, but not exactly looking particularly great now. So if I was to put them on the line there, it might help. And granted, they're on a depot still. I don't know about that, David. I tend to change about... I don't know. I tend to change sometimes. I do tend to talk out what I'm going to do, though, in excruciating detail. I've got the 20th Panzer Division over here, though, thankfully, which is going to help a lot. Okay. Really, the threat is the core here. I'm going to go ahead and place the 20th Panzer Division over here, then. I'm going to go into reserve here. But at least I do have something to fall back onto when I am pushed back. This one's a problem over here. That light woods there is a bit of a killer. 17 there. I mean, that position could just as likely fall, but at least it has a fortifications, which makes it a little bit less likely. But here at 12, when it's these forces here, they're going to concentrate here. So I could place a Gross Deutschland and maybe then move out the French volunteers to cover something else. Maybe even place like the volunteer regiment here and have nearly a division. It'd be nice to have something here, but I think I will go for that. It depends, really. It's like, for example, over here. You can see that we've been trying to make the best use of the heavy woods. There's really a fine line. Rivers are good, but rivers freeze. So I'm not one of those where I'm going to be like, right, okay, I'm going to absolutely nail myself to the river. Because, well, when the winter comes, the river is going to freeze anyway. So I'd like to stick with natural defensive points. So like swamps, heavy woods. Heavy wood swamps are great. They're always going to have a defensive bonus. Rivers come and go, just like friends. But heavy woods remain. Unless they go into the fires of Isengard, and then they don't remain. Okay. Right, so that brings us up to 25, 25, 27. So that roundabout equals this out over here. Oh yeah, don't worry about that, Carl. I'm not done moving these things at all. They're going to come last, and probably in 2 streams from now. How are we doing there? We've got 12 more minutes. See? I stretch things out. Right, so I have 21 vehicles there. I could even potentially place them in the heavy woods there. It does possibly open them up to attack, but it does mean that at least this area isn't completely open. Yeah, it depends. It's like, for example, I've abandoned Colm over here because I can take a heavy woods on the other side of the river. But obviously I've had to go about that in such a way where I'm going to maintain the heavy woods with a fortification on this side of the river, rather than fall back to north fortifications. I'd like to try and draw that together. Yeah, I know, Carl. Goddamn lazy bum. That's fair enough. I was just thinking of a joke there, Carl. I couldn't think how to frame it, but how was your time as Joe Exotic? Your alter ego. That's a funny joke. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that then. That's roughly okay. I don't know how I feel about this. Essentially is a motorized division here. The combat potential is okay. It doesn't really have fatigue. Infantry is down to 65. The issue is, and the big thing is here, I can't even do that, because if I do move into the heavy woods there, they're going to fight less effectively anyway. Well, they're in a swamp right now. They're going to have to go... Light woods is okay for them. That's okay. I may have them triple up over here, however. Maybe I just move in... I think I'll move in the gate third over here then. Bring that up to about 10,000 men in level 3 in light woods. There's at least something there. That's a grand old observation, actually. I kind of see what you mean there now. See, that's why you earn the big bucks. Okay. I got that. Or it might even be better to have a third division here, or even another reserve here. Really, we're trying to look for strength. I'm quite afraid of cores. Cores generally are the things to be afraid of. The mechanized are interesting because they do have the ability to run away. I think I will move an additional 1,500 men there too. Though they're not ready, so no, that's not a good idea. So I got 26 there, 28, 13. Yes. 16. Do I really want to do that? Oh, we can't attack that. I wish we could. Really, they need to be on the front then, don't they? Yeah, this is the Stalingrad scenario. Yeah, so we'll work with that for now then. It's not perfect, but it does more or less rectify the situation for now. There's obviously a gap here, but they don't have all that much. We just need to try and... Well, we'll continue to pull out here. Never can manage that. This side of a line... It's not so bad. I could obviously take a look at this. I do have panzer forces I could draw out of here as well, and I'd like to have those panzer forces shifted south if I could manage it. Though it is going to be an interesting situation because we are going to then see the Soviet forces then suddenly gain all these men here. They may even reinforce over here, but we'll have to try and manage that. There's divisions over here. I mean, frankly, once we extract these divisions here, I do have a 16th army that can take up more of a slack over here. I can pull back this way. I'm going to try and extract the armored forces. But yeah. We'll try and figure that one out. So, it's been nearly about 2 hours or so. I think we'll call it about here. I know I've done barely anything, but at the end of the day, we did have to think about how we'd want to respond to that situation. What I'm going to do in the next stream, whenever that is, I'm going to go through here and try to manage the actual command point. I really would prefer to not use command... Well, I would prefer to not use the Assault Army Headquarters if I could get away with it. I'd like to see if we could do that, because I could save out and I could save a lot of administration points and then try and use the Assault HQ on something like reserve or something to have it build a bit of strength or something of that nature. The 16th Army is an Assault Headquarters because we don't really have a choice there. But even being part... Well, I mean, this is it. If they're not an assault headquarters, they're going to dig in at least at a normal rate. Which, yeah, I mean, this is it. I suppose I do need that one. So I guess we'll go with that. So, yeah, this has been another stream where we've got barely anything done, but that is how it goes. I do hope you guys do dearly love that. And if you do dearly love that, potentially consider supporting the channel. I don't really talk about subscribers or anything like that anymore, but it does help if you guys do subscribe. Like the video, that's just a cool thing. And if you'd like to send maybe £1, or even $1, even a shekel. I've had shekels before. Those are great. That'd go a long way to support. Until next time, I Johnny, sayonara. Take care. And, well, I'm going to be streaming on Stalingrad tomorrow, so, ja, mata doyobi, sayonara. If I can find a button to end the stream. Yep.